So we've reached the 4th Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, and because this is apparently all a big f***ing joke to these people, the timeline and history of events has changed yet again. In this one, no one was ever apprehended again, and we pick up 20 years after the events of the original. The movie begins on the night of the senior prom, and we meet our hero Jenny, played by Oscar winner Renee Zellweger. And through circumstances, Jenny and her date Sean end up in a car with Jenny's friend Heather and her piece of shit boyfriend Barry.
It's my fault. I want to have sex with him.
That doesn't make it your fault.
Yeah, but what if he gets cancer and all his hair falls out from all the drugs or something? And it could happen.
Yeah, Jenny, so just shut up, all right?
His big line was to tell him that his father was a doctor and that they could get breast cancer if they didn't get felt out.
Barry!
Okay, I lied. Big deal. It's not my fault they're stupid enough to believe it.
Now, if you would have told me in 1996 that one of these people would go on to win an Oscar, I would have said, does that phrase mean something different in the future? They're driving down a backcountry road when they get hit by another car, and the driver immediately passes out. Jenny, Barry, and Heather go to look for help, while Sean stays behind with the car. Luckily, a mile into the woods, they come upon a 24-hour insurance agency, and the proprietor, Darla, calls her boyfriend, Vilmer, to send a tow truck. Vilmer shows up at the scene of the accident, and he's played by none other than Oscar winner Matthew McConaughey. And if you would have told me in 1996 that Matthew McConaughey would one day win an Oscar, I would have said, for this? It certainly wasn't for this, was it? Or did they re-release Dazed and Confused and finally honor him for the iconic role of David Wooderson? It'd be a lot cooler if they did. And now no Texas Chainsaw can ever match the terror and feeling of pure helplessness of the original. But I will give this movie credit because it sets up some scenarios that are pretty shocking and scary and very brutal.
Boy's dead.
No, he's not. He's just passed out.
He's dead now.
And like one of the most effective things about the original for me was the quickness and the brutality with which Leatherface dispatches his first victims. And it's like suddenly they're dead and their friends have no idea where they are. Like it terrified the shit out of me. And now in this situation, a tow truck driver shows up and you think help has arrived and then he just violently murders someone right in front of you. It's a good scene. I mean, his weird hydraulic leg kind of undercuts some of the tension, but I still stand by it being a good scene.
Tired yet, boy? Please, mister. You're scaring me. Oh, shit.
Okay, well, the tension is completely gone now. And Sean read somewhere that running in a zigzag pattern is the best way to avoid getting run over by a truck. But unfortunately, pages must have been stuck together and he was reading 2 different articles because that's alligators, bud. That's how you get away from alligators. And Vilmer then casually runs over Sean several times. And so the other 3 are walking back to the scene of the accident and they have the safety in numbers. But see, normally when friends are walking through the woods and the friends are just completely out of earshot. But Texas Chainsaw Massacre 4 makes the bold decision to show Barry and Heather chasing after a truck while Jenny just stands there until she's alone. Thus confirming why they don't usually show how they get separated. They just are.
What if they're murderers and they want us to follow them so they can hide behind trees and stab us?
And so now this entire time, Heather has been extremely paranoid about all the various ways that they could be murdered.
Something bad's gonna happen. I can feel it. I had these dreams about some weirdo following me through the woods and it's coming true. Sorry, but we're all gonna die. Some murderer is gonna kill us. We're gonna show our pictures naked with our hearts torn out on a current affair.
Like, it's a refreshing attitude for a character in a horror movie to have. But then Heather's spot-on instincts go on the fritz as soon as they find a creepy old farmhouse.
Hey, is anybody home? Hello?
People in horror movies love boarded-up farmhouses in the middle of the woods.
Maybe they're out back.
We'll go check.
Hey, I have an idea. Why don't I go check?
And they totally get off on splitting up. Look at him. He's hard as a rock right now. You sick freak. And you know, I don't even know why they're messing with this house. As far as they know, salvation is waiting a half-mile down the road. Like, there is a tow truck on its way to help you out. We finally get our first glimpse of the new Leatherface, played by Oscar enjoyer Robert Jacks. Who is this lovely creature I see before me? Oh my God, her hair smells like lilacs. I did not know they made shampoos that smelled like that. And meanwhile, Barry gets held up at gunpoint by W.E. Slaughter, but manages to outsmart him.
Hey, I need to use your bathroom anyway. Dumbass!
And Barry should take this opportunity to try to run out the back, but he's in a rustic farmhouse, and teenagers love rustic farmhouses. Like, seriously, he would kick himself later if he didn't poke around a little bit.
Heather! Heather, you okay? There's some crazy guy outside with a shotgun. Locked him out, though. You should have seen me.
You know, In this day and age when no one can agree on anything and division is at an all-time high, I think the one thing we can all agree on is that Barry is the dumbest horror movie character that has ever been created. If you think you know of a dumber character, let me know in the comments, and then I will start a flame war with you and try to dox you and get you fired from your job because you're a dumb little freak. Alright, let's see those suggestions. And Barry then gets knocked out by Leatherface, and in a nod to the original, he impales Heather on a meat hook. But it doesn't really seem to be phasing her too much, so maybe the hook just got snagged on the dress? And Jenny gets offered a ride by Vilmer, and now there is nothing better than when two Oscar winners get to share a scene, and we witness two masters of their craft play off each other's reactions.
I heard about an old man once, picked up a little girl on the side of the road, shot both her arms off and stuffed her in a culvert, left her for dead. I mean, that sorry son of a bitch didn't have shit for an imagination.
Stop, you're scaring me.
Wow. This is like De Niro and Pacino in the movie Heat. Now, if you would have told me in 1996 that one of these two would go on to win an Oscar, I'd say, can I just watch this f***ing movie? Like, I know you're messing with me, and it's not f***ing funny anymore. No one in this movie will win an Oscar. Although I will say this, the acting is bad, but Matthew McConaughey looks like he's having the time of his life.
Stop!
Stop it! Ow!
Have a look at that. Have a look at that.
But unfortunately, it seems to be at the expense of his co-stars. Frog Dog Cigarettes presents Surviving McConaughey. Has this ever happened to you? You're trying to make it in Hollywood, and next thing you know, you're stranded in the middle of nowhere with Matthew McConaughey. It can be a scary and oftentimes dangerous situation to find yourself in. We're here to help you get out of this scenario alive. Step 1. Never let Matthew corner you. Matthew McConaughey's are method actors, so they won't turn it off until production ends, and sometimes for a few months after that. And if you ever are cornered by a Matthew McConaughey, you should never have any regard for your own safety, because Matthew sure as hell doesn't. Step 2. Never try to match his intensity. A Matthew McConaughey is on a completely different level than normal actors. If you don't make any sudden movements or raise your voice, then usually the Matthew won't ramp things up to a dangerous level. However, if you come after him, oh boy, the Matthew McConaughey will retaliate tenfold. Step 3. Never feed a Matthew McConaughey after midnight. I thought that rule just applied to Mogwais, but apparently I was wrong. Step 4. Never. Oh my god, don't do that. You shouldn't have hit Matthew McConaughey. I don't know how much clearer I could have been. I'm sorry, I've seen that look before. You're on your own, Toots. I'm getting the heck out of here. Jenny manages to escape and makes it back to the tree line, and Vilmer gives up the chase because he tags in Leatherface, who chases her back to the house. What is this family's door budget? Like, get one of those hide-a-key rocks. It'll save you so much time when your prey constantly locks you out of your own house. And just like Sally from the original, we find that Jenny has the same kind of survival instinct that is severely lacking in most horror movies. And she makes it back to the safety of Darla's office trailer that is 30 miles from anything resembling civilization.
What the hell are you waiting for? Tie her up!
Darla! Huh, I gotta say, if you can't trust an insurance agent that has to include the phrase, suspiciously deep in the woods when giving directions to her office, then who can you trust? They shove Jenny in Darla's trunk, and Darla goes to buy pizza for everybody. Are they not cannibals in this one?
1 medium pepperoni, 1 large vegetarian, and your drinks will be out in a minute.
Vegetarian? I swear to God, if the vegetarian pizza is for Leatherface, I am going to scream. So everyone assembles back at the house, and things begin to take a sinister turn.
Let me ask you one question. Are you having fun yet?
Oh, God.
Because I promise you, you and I are going to have some fun.
Oh, no more, please.
I gotta say, I would not have felt safe with Matthew McConaughey on the set of an extremely low-budget movie on location in the middle of nowhere.
I don't know. Oh, no.
Oh, cut. Matthew, don't do that, please. You shut your damn mouth and get your ass behind that camera and capture the magic, motherfucker.
I am in the mood for life.
Oh, sweet Jesus, Matthew, we have to cut. This is not cool. And why am I now getting the feeling that that isn't a blood pack? Okay, quiet on the set. Roll sound, marker, and action. Oh, dear God, cut. Matthew, why did you lock the door? The scene doesn't call for that. Oh, God, I'm trapped in here with him. Remember, Matthew, you're on camera, so let's not do anything rash. Oh my god, Renee, I think he brought that knife from home. Renee, go for the eyes if you have to, and I'll run for help. So they move the insanity to the kitchen, and Jenny pulls a gun on him, but Vilmer just snatches it from her. And cut. Okay, that's a wrap. Matthew, that's a cut. We're done for the day. All right, Renee, we're just going to go outside, and we're going to get a shot of you driving away. And then you can just head back to your hotel room for the night. And oh my god, Matthew, we are done for the day. You are not Vilmer Slaughter. So Mr. McConaughey clearly wanted to keep filming for the day. So he drags Jenny back into the house to prepare for the staple of any Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, the family dinner scene.
All right, all right.
That is the most sinister line reading of all right, I've ever heard. But of course, this dinner scene kind of loses some of the impact when you know there is a vegetarian pizza waiting for them. Like, I want a rack of ribs that is clearly from a human torso. All right, now, Renee, I need you to listen to me very carefully. Now, the props department made an apparatus for Leatherface called a gooch scooper. Now, I know what you're saying. How is that different from a taint baller? Well, I asked the same damn thing, and they just said that this is a pseudo-sequel reimagining of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So we're all like in the universe next door to the one where that took place. But anyway, I'm rambling. So now this is a fully functional gooch scooper that I noticed is now missing from the props table. And I saw Matthew snooping around there right before it went missing. So Renee, do not let him corner you. If we work together, we can all get out of this in one piece, with all of our gooches intact. And just then, a mysterious stranger named Rothman shows up, and Rothman is the head of a super secret organization that aims to terrorize anyone they come in contact with. Now, they don't say what the organization is, but yeah, it's clearly the 99s, the aviation group that killed Amelia Earhart. We're coming for you, you sons of bitches. Actually, it's an all-female organization. We're coming for you, you bitches.
God, what are you doing? Oh, no. Oh, God. Oh, no.
And then Rothman leaves, and I'm not 100% sure that dude was an actor. I think he may have just wandered on the set one day and licked Renee Zellweger. And Jenny breaks free and runs down the road, and as Vilmer's chasing her, he gets his head chopped off by a crop duster. And Jenny jumps into Rothman's limo, and he takes her to the hospital, where we see Sally Hardesty from the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre as she's rolled by on a hospital bed.
What the hell is going on around here?
That is a good question. So that was Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation. I'm not 100% sure who this movie was for. It follows a lot of the same beats as the original, so you may as well just watch the original again. And then watch my breakdown of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre on Distracted Nerd, the fastest growing YouTube channel that Entertainment Weekly raves. Dear Mr. Distracted Nerd, we have told you time and time again that we don't feature YouTube channels in our publication. Please cease any and all future contact or we will be forced to take legal action. That's right. Entertainment Weekly mentioned Distracted Nerd. And to help out this channel, consider joining Patreon, where for less than the price of a Nachos Bel Grande, you can have access to, as of this recording, 27 breakdowns of the Adam West Batman show.
What has 4 legs, runs day and night, but never gets anywhere?
This isn't going to be easy, Robin. The famous lion fountains in front of the Gotham City Museum?
Gosh, Batman, I think you're wrong. The lion fountains aren't running at all. A water shortage, remember?
That's what that cheating devil wants us to think, Robin. I'm sure I'm right.
Batman does not like to be told that he's wrong about a riddle. And Robin should know this. Like, Batman will punish him for this later. Trust me. They notice the second story window is open, but it's too small for Batman to fit through.
But it's too small. I'd never make it.
But I could.
Robin, you do have the feeble musculature of a small child that has been sick for a very long time. Gosh, Batman, you don't need to elaborate. No, I think I do, old chum. I'm working through the problem. So now my body is fit and my muscles protrude, whereas your body is weak and tiny. I've seen you struggle with your Aunt Harriet's 2-pound dumbbells, so there would be almost no muscle mass on your pathetic little body at all. Why, you would just smush right through that opening like some sort of amorphous blob. I've got it, old chum. I've got it. Your small girlish body should try to climb through the window. I don't know why you had to say all that, Batman.